Hello, and welcome back to the Preppy Style Journal. My name is Vernon. I'm a certified etiquette and image consultant. I enjoy helping people get dressed for all occasions and navigate social situations with grace and charm. I wanted to talk to you today about the most versatile piece of clothing that you will add to your wardrobe, and that is the charcoal gray suit. It's one of the ones that may get no points when it comes down to the flashiness or the most attention, but it's probably the most versatile piece of clothing that you could invest in. Let me explain it to you in the simplest form. I can remember my first suit. We've all been there. My first suit was a royal blue suit, 3 buttons, big lapels, big shoulder pads, the whole works. Let's just say when I look back at pictures of that, I always wonder why someone didn't stop me and tell me, young man, let me help you out. But that's why I'm here today. I'm going to walk you through this process and make it fun and enjoyable, but mostly useful for you. First step, when purchasing your first suit, right, you want to function on the 3 F's, which is fit, fabric, and form. Let's start off with fit. Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can spend thousands of dollars on the most expensive suit, but if the fit is off, then the whole wardrobe is trash. I hate to sound so harsh, but that's just the way it is, gents. Listen, go into a store, maybe your local haberdashery, they would be happy to measure you to know your suit size. It's a simple process. Normally they measure the circumference of your chest and from the tip of your shoulder all the way down to your cuffs. For me, I'm a 42 long. I've had some adjustments over the years. I guess I've grown an inch, but hey, now I know. And you can confidently go in and ask somebody to walk you through this process. Now, coming back into saying, if I were to purchase one suit that could get me through weddings, funerals, interviews, bar mitzvahs, anything you think of it, the most versatile suit, hands down, charcoal gray suit. So here's what I would recommend for you to do. Go into the store, and ask somebody to actually assist you in this process. And normally this should take, an hour or two. But if you have somebody that knows what they're doing, I guarantee you the process will be really smooth. So we've covered fit. Let me cover function and material, okay? So I'm gonna go back to fit, fabric, and form. Here we go. Fabric. What should you look for when purchasing your first suit? Well, if I were to be honest, I always say dress for the season. But if you're purchasing your first suit, I would say invest in a suit that's 100% wool. Now, I know what you're thinking. The first thing you hear wool suit and you're thinking you're gonna burn up and fry in the weather outside. But it's not going to happen, I guarantee you. Most suits that are of quality are either of wool, and then you get into the different ones like cashmere and all that other stuff. But we're talking about the basics for now. So I would go in and look for a wool suit. Here's what to avoid. Avoid buying a suit that they're asking you, is these 2 Italian sisters, Polly and Esther. Avoid buying that suit there. Listen, I will give you some advice. If you're going into the store and they're selling you a suit for under $100, here's what you're going to get when it comes to fabric. Something that's called a fused suit. Fused. What is a fused suit? I'll tell you. You wear the suit, you walk out the store, and listen, you can probably get away with it for 1 or 2 months. You send it to the dry cleaner, and then you'll see some buckling or bubbling on the suit, right? Or let's say you get some rain on you and some moisture, you see the suit start to bubble. What's that called? It's called fusing. And I know it's a word that a lot of people may not be familiar with, but let me tell you what fusing is. Fusing is when suits, companies that are rushing and getting these suits out, these aren't mass produced where they're put together by hand. What it is actually 2 pieces of fabric, put together and glued, stitched together and steam pressed together. It makes a big difference because after a while it will start to bubble. And believe me, there's nothing more unattractive. You can't undo it once it's done, but there's nothing more unattractive than a suit that's buckling and bubbling. It actually looks cheap. I would recommend if you wanted to do something like that, Save your money. Even go to shopping vintage. At least you know it's been around for a long time, and the suit can actually get you through the time that you need. Third part is function. Listen, like I said in the beginning, I've been there. That royal blue suit that you want to go out and, the most ostentatious color that you can think of. But here's what I would tell you guys. I've always been an advocate and a proponent for saying less is more. You want to do some peacocking? I get it. Okay, everybody wants to be remembered when they walk in. But how about being remembered for elegance and not for ostentatiousness? What I like to do is, I use boutonnieres. This one here is a donut that I actually got from my daughter. I like to put it on. It becomes a good conversation piece. Breaks the ice when I'm talking to somebody if it's something so stiff. I'm also a proponent and an advocate for pocket squares. Normally, I would say your pocket square needs to have nothing to do as far as color and matching your suit. This is I'm playing with this here. I went with a solid brown pocket square because I'm wearing a purple and white striped shirt, brown and white stripes. So I figured I would mute it down with a solid pocket square. But in the rule of thumb is saying if you're not going to wear a tie, wear a pocket square. Now in a charcoal gray suit, you can wear these colors are versatile with everything under the sun. You can wear it with a white shirt, a blue shirt, a purple shirt like I'm doing, a banker striped shirt. I mean, you think about it, you can do it. But here's what I would say. Avoid that lime green shirt or the temptation to buy that bright orange shirt with the bright tie. They were selling the sets with the shirt and matching tie. Avoid the temptation to buy those. If you want to do something, let your accessories do the talking. Charcoal gray. There we go. Now coming back to we're saying about the fit of the suit. I prefer something that's a little in the middle. So where some folks will go with a peak lapel, I prefer going with a notch lapel. It's a classy look. It's been around forever. So it's a peak lapel, but the notch lapel is more classier. I prefer a middle cut as opposed to a skinny cut. And normally, rule of thumb, the tie knot should match the width of your lapel on your jacket. Just a side note there. Listen, I hope this helps somebody. We're going to get into more, but I just wanted to put this up and hope this helps someone out today. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think.